Hello, beautiful souls. This is Vinita Kumar, also known as Twinflameunion, bringing you guys in this week's Pep Talk and Empowerment. Twin Flames and Their Healing, Part 2. Part 1 was actually already published in the Pep Talk series about more than a year ago. So you can take a look at that. I will actually link that video into the description box so that you can actually have a look at that. And that was a very in-depth video as it was, and I'm not going to repeat too much of what I had already said in that video. You can take a look at that and rewatch that. I mean, with anything, you're supposed to be watching this a few times to allow things to sink in. At least that's what I did with all my journey, whether I was watching YouTube videos that helped me in my journey, or articles. I read it many times so that that information sinks in. And the reason why being, not everybody is actually born in a spiritual journey. Most twin flames are not, and it's very rare that you actually will be born with a spiritual background. Part of it is because you actually don't get the awakening in the beginning stages of your life. You actually get your awakening in a later stage of your life, whether it's in your early 20s or your mid 20s, or mid 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. It doesn't matter. It's what your soul wanted you to do at that point. So that's how it kind of rolled out for your journey. So having said that, this whole spirituality is probably very new to majority of you. It was for me. So that's why I say that you almost have to reread some of the articles and rewatch some of the videos, especially mine. They're so informative. You may want to actually take a look at all of that numerous times so that it aids you in your soul's journey. Without further ado, we will dive deep into the part 2 of what I have to say on twin flames and healing. But before we actually begin, let's hit it. Welcome back. For those that are new to this channel, welcome. You were actually led here for a reason, and you may want to check out what I actually have in the channel. I have lots of guided meditations, definitely lots of videos on the Pep Talk series, as well as some readings as well. And their readings are all timeless, so check them out and see what resonates. Please do not forget to hit like. It helps my video to circulate around. And I'm gonna say this for anybody that is a YouTuber. If you actually like their content, I do encourage you to hit like. It doesn't cost you anything, but what it does, it allows the person's video to circulate around within the community, and with that, it's paying it forward. You are watching their content and my content, so it's sort of paying it with gratitude, saying that, okay, you know what, I will allow it to go, I will pay it forward so that they actually benefit in some way. I also want to say that You know, for those that are my regular viewers, thank you for your love and support. Finally, my YouTube, after 2 years of working really hard, it was not easy because I had to come up with new videos and make it interesting for all of you, and to even help you in your soul's journey, because it's a very hard soul's journey. You know, we go through our highs and lows, and I know that I wanted to give you guys something very, very helpful when it came to your journey, and not just tarot card readings like most people are doing on YouTube. It doesn't really actually help in your journey. So it was something that I thought of, and it took me a while to even center in my energy and figure out what I actually wanted to give you guys, and that was going to be fruitful when it came to your twin flame journey or your soul journey. So it was something that it took me a while to figure out what I wanted to do with this channel. So and I'm glad that I started off late versus starting prematurely, because I've seen this in many you know, I've seen this within the twin flame community with twin flame coaches and readers and healers. You know, they come in and go just as fast because they can't keep up with the journey, and they can't keep up with their own healing, and they can't keep up with the audience or doing their mission work. So it's one of those things that I find, you know, if you're doing it prematurely, or if you started it prematurely when you're not healed enough, which is is the main topic today anyways, is twin flame healing. If you're not healed enough, you're not going to last long within the community. You're going to burn out really fast, because it doesn't matter whether you're a twin flame healer, a coach, a reader. Your journey is just the same as the rest of you, so it's not any different. Whatever you guys as an audience, you are embarking in your twin flame journey, the highs and lows, we feel them too. But how we come about and not burn out, that's the whole point of this topic anyways. So it's a little interesting way of looking at it, and I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for supporting this channel. And yeah, it was hard work, and now that it's hit 1,000 subscribers over, it's going to be really fast, where I'll build up the audience. And the whole point of my mission work is to reach out to all twin flames, because the content that I have, I do believe that it's really helpful when it comes to your soul journey. So having said that, please do not forget to hit like, share, subscribe, as well as hit the notification bell so that you do not miss any future videos. With all my busy work and my time the way that it is, I still try to give you guys at least 3 to 4 videos per month. That is my usual goal, and sometimes I don't make it because I'm usually so busy with everything else. And I also write articles, so whenever I'm doing the YouTube pep talk, or even reading, sometimes I will link my articles in there too. And my 72 blog, that is going to get published in the next couple of days. And yeah, I'm excited of the journey ahead, and as well as my mission work. I'm here to stay, and I'm trying not to burn out like the rest of you know, the people that are in the community. So yeah, I'm trying to keep it together, pace it as best as I can. So that's another portion of the healing topic that I'm gonna say. It's very important that, you know, you don't burn out in some way. So now, this is everybody talks about healing, and within the community, within Facebook groups and Instagrams and YouTubers. Now, I don't feel that people actually grasp what twin flame healing is, or what soul healing is, because a lot of times, majority of the twin flames, they are too stuck in figuring out where the connection is when it comes to them and their beloved. They're too busy watching tarot card readings and trying to figure out what they're doing with their karmic, if that is the scenario you have, or or when are they going to come back to you, and if you're in a separation phase, or when am I going to meet them, all that sort of thing. And that, it shouldn't. Now, I'm not going to say that all twin flames don't feel that way. They do, including me sometimes. I don't have karmic situations, but sometimes, your soul journey will throw little things here and there for you to tie up karmic debt to your ex-karmic partners and stuff like that. It's something like that, very similar, happened to me in November last year. And it's just something that I needed to balance out when it came to balancing some karma, because karmic partners are all about karma, and I've actually mentioned that in depth in my in my blogs and my articles. And I also want to say to everybody that's watching, you should have subscribed to my blogs as well. You don't get spam emails like other other people that are out there that they lure you into your subscription, and then they're bombarding you with spams. That is not the case in my website, because I don't do that. It's annoying for me to receive spam emails, so I don't like doing that. So every time my article is published, you will get a notification, and that's through the subscription. It's free. You should have done that anyways, but if you haven't, you may want to do that, because it's I've already published 72 blogs in 2.5 years, so, and I'm going to continue going because I have lots of topics to teach you guys on. So yeah, it's twin flame healing is very, very complex, and it's very, very very, very trying. And the whole reason that this all comes in such a roller coaster way to all twin flames is because it's the fastest way to your ascension process. And you are meant to look after a lot of the ascension process and do majority of your healing before you will actually finish your your journey in this lifetime. So that's the whole point why it's really hard to keep up with it, because it's gonna constantly trigger you, and of course your twin flame, your beloved, will behave in such a way, in real 3D way, 3D behavior, a real life scenario, where they will constantly make you think, and they will constantly make you dive deeper into your own inner shadow work and heal from within out. So and that's really, really important that you do that, right? So as within, so without, as the universe, as the soul. So your heaven and earth is all here in this planet Earth. It's not up in the heavens. You have to bring your heaven here. You have to create that that 5D bliss in your current lifetime, in this lifetime. So and that's the whole point of the journey. And I don't know, I've almost all my articles I don't know any article the way I have not mentioned about healing, and I actually dissect the healing aspect of it in so many different ways that it's I get creative, because again, this is another thing I want to mention. I've said this many times, that teachers will only teach you, coaches, teachers, twin flame teachers, they will only teach you based out of their own consciousness, which means that if they haven't healed and they haven't done the shadow work and the journey themselves, they will be just looping around in circles telling you nothing in depth. They will not point out what you need to do. They may say some things, but they will not have a clue themselves because they haven't done it. So basically, you want to always attach yourself to a teacher that continuously is doing their journey and telling you how to do it. So, and I know that there's not many in the community that actually go with that in depth. They're always looping around in circles. I've read their articles. I know what they give out. I won't mention names, but I've seen it all. So, and I've seen those ones, almost the same ones have burned out and left the community, and they've started doing different things because there's only so much of loopy loop you can do, or cray merry-go go around, in cartwheels. I don't know, I'm just giving you guys some of these scenarios. So and with being in a twin flame journey, it definitely doesn't skip your healing process as well. And that's another thing that I want to say. No twin flame can skip this process, because the whole point of your soul journey is that it's going to demand it out of you. So yeah, if you think that by just waiting around for your twin flame to return in your physical reality while you do no inner work, it's going to get you far in life and in your journey and any further relationships you're going to have. And there's another misconception that a lot of people have, is that they think that their twin flame is it. They will never find anybody better than them, or they will not find anybody that's going to be just as good as them. You don't know that until you heal enough to actually see the higher inside of that, right? Not necessarily, that is what is written in your soul contract. You don't know what you don't know. So the best thing is to focus on yourself, and the rest will unfold. I always say this to all my clients when they come for guidance, reading, healing, because it's just so important that you do. And a lot of them actually take that and take that guidance, and they value it going forward into their journey. They feel much better because they've started to put in that work. Nothing comes for free, and I want to say that that is the case. There's no such thing as the sky opening and giving you a pot of gold. You have to go and put in the time in order for you to earn that money, whether you're earning it through your business, through your work, or anything else that you're doing. You have to put in that time in order to to get the fruit of your labor. So this is the same thing as your healing as well. It's the same concept. It's the concept of the universe that you reap what you sow. So basically, if you don't put in your time, you're not going to get ahead in any aspect. So, and my whole point of my mission work is not to get you into a relationship with your twin flame. That's up to you and your twin flame. But my whole point of my mission work is to make sure that you, the viewer, is having the life of your dreams through your hard work and through changing your consciousness and elevating your consciousness to the 5D template that you are destined to have. So that's the whole point of my mission work. So now I did ask, I have this tablet here because I'm going to read off the two people that asked these questions. It just goes to show that whenever this people are so stuck in the romantic aspect of their twin flame, that when there is other questions that are being asked by people in public forums that will help them, they don't want to know all that information because they don't want to put in the work. That's basically what I want to say is the issue with majority of the twin flames, because they feel like, oh, I am healing. Well, how are you healing? I want you today, after watching this video, list all the things that you are actually healing in. I want to actually list it down. And if you feel that you've listed at least 20 to 30 things that you are actually healing on, then you're healing. The number seems high, but I want you guys to do that. That's your homework assignment. I'm a teacher, so I'm going to give you guys homework. List it and tell me. You can write it in the comments. I mean, nobody does because it's not something that they feel is realistic, but I can list at least 20 to 30 things that I have healed on or am healing on. So if I can do it, you guys can too. So, and I'm not any more better than anybody else. I had to work really, really hard in my journey. So, and I spent a lot of money in healing those aspects. So that's how it is. You know, you are what you pay for, right? So that's the worth that you have to see within you, whether you actually feel that you are worth the investment or not. So, but yeah, 2 people did, ask questions. So I will answer it. And my question really was, what is twin flame healing? So that was what I had asked, whether you wanted to know any questions on what is twin flame healing. So this is what one of the person said. What is it? How to do it, and how do we know if we are healing or we have healed completely? This was an excellent, question, and again, this was in my Facebook group that I had asked, because I wanted to do this video again and do in addition to the part 1 that is already there. So I'll actually break it down. What is twin flame? Basically, she's asking, what is it? So what is it? Meaning, what is the twin flame healing? So twin flame healing in a nutshell, if you round it off, is basically elevating your consciousness. So what that means is that you are leaving all the everything that no longer serves you, and you are elevating into another level of consciousness to anchor what is serving you. That's in a nutshell. And like I said, I've spent a lot of time explaining twin flame healing in my 72 blogs that are published. Really, really go through those, because everything is listed there. And I do recommend people to read them over and over again. In fact, I recommend everybody to be watching my pep talk over and over again. So that is in a nutshell. How to do it, and how do we know if we are healing? I'm going to break, because she has a lot of questions on this, so I'm going to break it down. How to do it. How to do it in the simplest way is to do a lot of self-healing, and then in conjunction with that, you're supposed to be healing with healers as well. When I say that, I mean that you should be booking with healers one-on-one and allowing that experience to remove anything that is not serving you, that you're meant to release. I'm going to go over what that is after I've done answering these questions. I know that when clients come and book with me, my healing session with them is for that duration that they paid for, but then I give them so many homework assignments that they take back with them, and it's very catered to whatever shows up in their healing session during that time. And this is one of the reasons why a lot of my clients come back to me repeatedly, because they know that they get their money's worth. Do other healers do that? I have yet to come across a healer that I've gone and healed with that has done that for me. None of them did, because they're not capable of coming up with a scenario to further your healing process the way that it should. If you are trying to be, if you're trying to watch your best investments, is to, maybe you can ask your healer whether they actually do this, where you are in a healing session, you've got the healing, and then after that you are given some sort of like a take-home assignment or methods or something additionally that you should be, you should be doing in conjunction to whatever you have released, because you have that 1 hour, 2 hour healing session with your healers, and then things come up in that healing, and yeah, if they are good enough, they will release it for you, but that's just coming into your light, right? It is shedding light to your awareness. Okay, this is what was deeply buried under my subconscious or my unconscious being, right? So how do I now release this and reprogram my my mindset? And these are some of the things that I find a lot of healers are not doing. And again, I know that that's not something I got in any of my healing sessions. So they just they just give you your healing sessions, and in fact, none of my healers actually gave me any insights or helped me figure out what I have seen. It was good that I had my own understanding of what I had seen or what had come up. I had actually figured it out through through my whatever had shown up to my own interpretation and all that sort of thing. I just kind of figured it out on my own, versus when people are actually booking with me, a lot of them are, they go in so deep, and then they see things and they don't understand what the heck that is. And then we brainstorm after to figure out what they have seen, and I intuitively help them and coach them and guide them. So I hold their hands a lot, and it's something that I know is very unique to the rest of the people that actually offer healing. So so that's another way of finding the right type of healers that will allow you or help you how to do it, which was a question, how to do it. So so that's again, I have a full-time job as well as a full-time mission. So it's something that I've already started channel, is the twinflameunion program. And in that program, I'm going to actually strategically tell you guys what to do in that program and how to heal, and it'll be very, very different from whatever is out there, because there are so many programs, and I of course I don't know what programs there are. I only took one program, and that was very, very lengthy, and a lot of information you read and then it goes out the window. So I what I want to do is streamline it to sort of like a point form, versus having pages and pages of stuff that you need to read and figure out and all that sort of thing. It's good. It's very informative that way, but let's face it, if you're reading 20 pages of one module, chances are you won't remember it after you've read it. So so I'm trying to simplify it so that people can remember it and not have like pages and pages of things to read. That's what self-help books are, right? So which is part of my conversation here to you guys. So we talked about what is twin flame healing. Then we talked about how to do it, which I explained to you. And the next part of our question was, how do we know if we are healing? That's a really, really good question. How do you know you are actually healing? The universe will give you lots of signs and things in regards to how you're doing in your journey, how you're healing. And the signs and things are very, very broad, so I can't list you what they are, because you have to be aware enough to be able to figure out that that's what they are telling you. And how do you know that you are healing? When you are actually in constant gratitude. How do you know that you're healing? When you are absolutely in bliss state. Nothing phases you. You don't care that your twin flame is not giving you time of the day. Who cares then? a lot of you will feel that way. Like, I'm gonna move on with my life and move on with my journey and see what's ahead of me. You're excited for the future, even if you don't know whether it's with your twin flame or not. You know, you're excited to wake up every day and face the day. And that's the reason why I mention it in a nutshell like that, because that's exactly what it is. Sometimes people don't realize that when they get up and they're like, oh my God, I can't deal with this day. Some days you'll feel this way, but if you're feeling this way every day, where you are just tired, you're tired of getting up and facing the day and whatever the day has ahead of you, then that's what it is. You're not healing. So, because when you are healing, you know, from inside out, unconscious, subconscious, and conscious, when you're healing on that level, every day you're gonna get up, you're gonna be all smiles, and majority of the day you'll be all smiles. So and that's how you know that you're actually healing. It's the best way, the most simplified way that I can tell you, whether you would see that as a sign. That is a bigger sign. Another sign that I want to say is that you will see people and things are getting removed, and there is other things that are clicking in place, like click, 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 like a jigsaw puzzle. Everything's clicking, and everything is in the ebb and flow, in the motion of improvement. And that I'm saying in a very generic way, because this will be your work, your business, your health, your well-being, your state of being, your mindset, people around you, what else? You know, how people behave towards you. So all those kind of things, you will start to see. You'll start to see. I have a stray hair that is so annoying. It's like one hair that just it's like I should just chop it off. Who cares? I have lots of hair. Do I really need that one hair, right? so yeah, you know, all that kind of stuff will click in place, and you will know that there's going to be things that will be done for you as well. There's going to be a lot of times, you know, you're going ahead with your life and you're going to your day-to-day, you know, stuff. You will notice the stuff that stands out, meaning that you will notice if somebody has done something really amazing for you, and you'll be like, oh, and that could be a stranger that has, you know, that's just decided to do something really amazing for you, and you'll be like, oh my God, how can this happen? And it actually does happen. So stuff like that you can look out for, and that is one of the best signs to know that you're actually healing, because this is the work of your higher self as well. I want to mention that that is telling you that you're on the right path and you are on the right track to your soul's journey. So take that as that, and really open up your consciousness and see what's out there. What is it trying to teach you? And another thing that I want to say, frame this, because this is going to be very, very crucial for your healing, and that is that if there's something that's happening in your life, you need to ask your higher self, what are you trying to teach me? Or you can just throw it out to the universe and say, what is this teaching me? always like write this sentence down. What is this teaching me? Because when you actually ask it that way, then what happens is you will start to get answers as well as to what it's teaching you. It may not be right away that you get your answers, but it will down the road give you answers as you heal some aspects of it, right? And yeah, that's very, very important to remember as well, is that your life will continue to give you lessons and experiences, and lessons and experiences are part of your daily life. Some of them will be good, some of them will be bad, some of them will be excruciating, but you need to figure out and ask yourself, what is this teaching you? And how is this going to help me in future? You can even ask that part too. You can even ask your higher self, God, the universe, to give you signs on something specific that, whether you are in alignment with your soul purpose, whether you are healing or not in some way. So that's just a brief nutshell of this aspect. Now, the fourth part of her question was, how do you, how did she say it? How do I know? Well, I'm rearranging this question, because that's basically what she's asking, is how do you know whether you've healed completely? So that's, she wrote it in one sentence, but I kind of broke it down because there were a lot of aspects of her question that I felt needed to be broken down like this. So her last part of the question was, how do you know if you have healed completely? How do you know whether you've healed completely? I want to say that you actually will never know whether you've healed completely. Not 100%. Because there is so... See, the thing is that this is where you need to think deeper than that. Even when people leave their body, their souls leave their body, I'm just doing my shamanic practitioner program, and I'm learning lots, and this is where it comes. And again, a lot of twin flames will say, well, I've done all the healing. I love that statement. I'll go over that too. So again, when I started learning shamanism, in there, through their course, I'm learning about souls that have passed on. They actually go into levels of healing even on the other side. So do you actually feel that you would actually stop healing at some stage of your life? I don't know if you will. Because your soul is in quest of many things, and one of the things that it's hungry for is soul lessons and experiences. Every soul, doesn't matter whether you're incarnated in a body or you're not, you're still learning lots of lessons. And they, of course, souls on the other side, they get different kind of lessons as opposed to when they are in embodiment. But I want to say that if people feel that they have actually healed enough, then of course it's their ego, because if they were healed enough, then they wouldn't be getting triggered by their twin flames behavior in physical reality. How do you know that you have healed completely? When I won't say completely, I would just say that I will reiterate that question and say, how do you know you're healing? Because you will never ever heal completely. There's no such thing. And I'll leave it at that. It's just what it is. I'm not gonna say that you will stop healing at some point. And that's a misconception and an ego-based outlook that you've healed completely. nobody that is elevated in their consciousness will teach you like this. So so I don't think that you can heal completely. Yes, you can say that your life will somewhat change, and you will see a lot of positive things are happening in your life when you are actually in the process of healing. Lots of things will show you, your life experiences, your things and people around you. Everything will indicate that you're actually healing and you're in the road of healing. So that is the sign that you should be looking for. So that's that. I'm gonna go to a lot of twin flames that comment randomly in social media forums and stuff like that. Oh, I have healed completely. Well, yeah, so then, you know, I just, I know that they haven't, because you know, anybody that is elevated in their consciousness, they will tell you that healing is a ongoing endeavor. There's no such thing as that you've completely healed in any way. I'm healing every day on something. So, and I'm learning lessons every day. So yeah, even me, I won't say that I've completely healed. So yeah, take it as you may with that, but there is no such thing. And if somebody is telling you otherwise, then that's what it is. Now, the next person that asked question on this: what does healing look like? So I've kind of already answered that question. What does healing look like? You know, in the first person that had asked. So I've already answered that part. And then the second part she says is, I have good days, high vibes, positive, optimistic, and I have low days where I'm negative, feel bad about myself, tell myself my twin doesn't care. So basically she's talking about the highs and lows of her twin flame journey. Some days she's in absolute bliss state. She knows that she's going through you know, her healing process, and she's learning things, and she's in positive vibes, and there's other times when she's totally negative and she feels about herself, and you know, she feels like a twin flame doesn't care enough, and you know, she's asking whether this is normal. See, it is normal and it's not normal, because what I find with people that can't explain it like that, I know it's a number one telltale sign that they have not gone deep enough to heal what needs to be healed. They may be healing on a surface level, but it's not deep enough. Because when you actually go deep enough and you actually heal the aspects that you do, you, like I said in the first part of the question that the other person asked, you will feel amazing majority of the time, and that is bringing you heaven on earth. So if you haven't healed that aspect, and you haven't healed deep enough, that's gonna come back and bite you. And of course, this aspect will bite you even more, because your twin flame's behavior will really sit there and trigger every aspect of that. Another way to look at it is that their behavior is meant to take you a level deeper into your healing. And of course, if you don't heal that aspect and don't know what they're trying to teach you or trying to get you to heal on, then it's just going to pile on. So yeah, you will have that kind of days where you are just simply negative and you feel bad about yourself, and you know, you think that the whole world is out there to get you, and people are jealous and people are envious of your journey, and there's dark forces and black magic and voodoo that people are doing, and all those kind of things that is the negative aspect of the low 3D behavior, the doubts, the fear, the blame, the self-pity. All that stuff will come back, and it will come back because your soul is trying to tell you something. So best thing to do when a lot of you are in that stage where you are getting that kind of dynamics where some days you are having good days and some days you're having bad days, then you just need to breathe in, center yourself, and go in a meditative state and ask your higher self what's going on. And there is no rules to this. You can ask the God, universe, your higher self to show you what's your next move. What should you be healing on the next? Because what I find is that your GPS is your higher self, your guides and and the universe. So you can always ask them for guidance on what to heal. And if you are elevated enough, you will start to get some sort of clues, and you will know what to heal on. You will have an idea. If in the early stages of my twin flame journey, if it came to me what I needed to heal on, I actually went and healed on it, because it's something that I knew it was asking me to do. So if you're drawn to a certain type of healing, it's because you're supposed to heal on that. And you get what you pay for. If you think that you can self-heal on that, then all the best to you. But very bluntly, I'll tell you that it's not gonna be deep enough for you to master that kind of healing and get to the stage where you need to be at. You have to. I don't know how many times I have actually booked with healers on the same thing that I'm healing on repeatedly, because it's not just one or two healing sessions and you're done with. It sometimes takes multiple healing sessions to get to the root cause of the problem and remove it. So yeah, that's sort of, in a nutshell, that's what it is. So yeah, for those that feel that they have highs and lows in their journey, and they the highs and lows are there, but it should be a moment, passing thought. It shouldn't control your entire day. And if it's controlling your entire day or entire week or entire month, then that's an issue. You may have little inks of thoughts, and while you're doing something will cross your mind and all that sort of thing. That's normal. That's you're still in the higher elevation. But if you are having an entire bad day, this is why I really emphasize on, even if you are self-healing, you should be putting in a lot of work. And for those that practice gratitude and they are actually writing in their gratitude journal, they actually will tell you that they master that aspect, because it's about shifting your consciousness. And I can kind of tell with what kind of questions are being asked, whether the person is actually doing deep shadow work or not. So take it as that. These were still amazing questions, because at least these two individuals, they asked some questions that will help them to assist in their journey ahead, and they will see it in a different light, and perhaps change their game plan in terms of their healing. So they're on the right path, because no question is a bad question. I never say that, because it actually gets you going into the next phase of your transformation. So that's always a good thing. So take it as that, as a positive thing. And of course, there's about more than 7,000 group members there, and they didn't think it was worthy of them to ask that question, or ask me questions on twin flame healing, because this is how much they have healed. So again, you know, it's something. I always see what kind of my pep talk videos get the most views. It's usually the fluff stuff, that because I mix it up. Whatever is the fluff stuff gets the most views, and of course these kind of videos that actually will help you in your life, I don't get much views. So that's another observation that I have within the community, that that people are just not serious when it comes to their twin flame healing or their healing. A lot of twin flames also feel that they're too busy worried about healing their twin flame. That's another thing. I have an entire blog on that. on how that's gonna backfire really fast if you feel that they're so broken and they're so toxic and they're so narcissist that they need the healing, and I am just amazing and I don't need the healing at all. So so yeah, it's again, you know, it's just the ego saying all that sort of thing. And there's other twins that will say that I'm healing to, I want to heal my twin flame because they are so broken. And I'm gonna say to that that's not gonna work again in your twin flame journey, because you need to heal you first. You know, the whole point of this entire journey is to focus on your healing, on yourself and your self-empowerment and your betterment, and the rest will unfold. And as your twin flame, as your true twin flame, whatever you are doing in your journey will 100% have a knockoff effect on them. I've seen that in my own connection. He's not the kind of guy that will go and do shamanic healing or will do Reiki healing or past life healing. he's not that kind of guy that's gonna go do that, though he's spiritual, but he just wouldn't be interested in stuff like that. So how did he heal then? You know, throughout the 4 years that I've been healing, he's joined me energetically in a lot of, I would say, how much has he joined me? About 70% of the time he's joined me in my healing sessions energetically. So yeah, he just comes in. He knows his higher self is smart, so he knows what he will benefit from. So he joins in, and he gets the healing. And that whole point where I'm talking about that your healing will be a knockoff effect, will have a knockoff effect on your twin flame, is just the way that you know, you'll see it in physical reality, because his latest picture, my twin flame's latest picture, I could see that his third eye is open, and it was open vertically. So yeah, like Lord Shiva's. So and before when I had met him, he didn't have that aspect on him. So this is how I know that it's what I teach is real, and it does have a lot of bearing to it, to what I teach. And if you understand what I'm teaching, then you are ahead of the game. And if you are not understanding at all what I'm teaching, then you're just not there in your journey. And you obviously need to learn a lot of soul lessons, and it's just part of your journey, and there's nothing wrong with it. In time, you will come back to these kind of videos and understand what the person is trying to teach you. Like I said earlier, that I'm gonna link the first part of the video on twin flame healing into the description box, so you can read that, as well as I will actually link all my blogs that I have written. I believe there's about 5 stages of twin flame healing that I have mentioned. So, and in that video I had already done a lot of recap of what you should be healing, and I'm just gonna do a quick recap here on some of the additional things that you can heal on. I did re-listen to the video because it was published a year ago, so I wanted to make sure that I'm not really repeating some of the things. there's a lot of YouTubers again that love to repeat their content, you know, with a different kind of masala in it. But it's the same stuff. So I try not to do that because you know, I do have content to talk about. So why do I need to repeat the same things that has already been published, right? So yeah, that's just the way my outlook is. Once I run out of topic, which we'll see if we do, because so far I haven't, then I can repeat those videos. So one thing you guys will know about me, I'm very cut and dry when it comes to certain things, and it's just the way that my guides tell me how to do my mission work, and I'm grateful. I see the benefits of that, because again, a lot of people just keep going around the same circles on the same subjects, and I try to mix it up and make you guys think on many different levels. So this is just my job, and I do that. One of the things that I want to mention, this will come up all the time, is twin flame and money blocks. So you need to actually heal on that aspect. I had done last year a radio talk show with Kristen Harper for Voice America on this topic. She was looking for a topic on twin flames and money blocks. She knew that this was something that all twin flames go through. So what she said, and I'm grateful that that is the case, where she she Googled my article, and my article was the first one on Google Console. So that's another thing I want to say. A lot of times you may not be able to find topics on the things that you want to read up on. Do a search on Google and see what kind of articles come up, and chances are that my article will be somewhere there as well. Or you can always go into my website and search under the search bar with keywords, and my article will pop up if there is something on that. So yeah, just look at it this way as well. You know, it'll help you to narrow down from looking at all the topics that I have in my 72 blogs. If somebody told me a few years ago that I was going to do stuff like this, I would have laughed, because I didn't think that, didn't even see it coming. So that's another thing that you will notice with people that you follow, or you know, you take as through their mentorship. And I'm going to talk about my case. I had to heal really quickly and elevate my consciousness really fast, because I'll tell you this, about 4 years ago, I was not the same person I am today. Definitely very different. And that's another thing that you can add to the questions that the girls ask. How do you know whether you're healing? People will comment on that. They will say, oh, you've changed. And so that's another way of knowing that you are actually healing in that aspect. So I want to say that, yeah, I had to do all this really fast in order for me to teach you guys some of these aspects, because I had a whole, you know, a whole mission ahead of me to teach. So all these things came really fast for me to learn and incorporate and heal. And I'm still healing. There's no such thing as me healed. I will never claim that, because that doesn't make sense to me. It's not something that I resonate with that I'm healed. Though I do want to say, since the last time I did that video on part 1, I did manage to come into my inner union last year in February, and that was a very incredible experience. And I didn't just come into my inner union just like that. I had worked really hard for it, and after 2 years of vigorous healing, 2.5 years, a little bit over 2 years, I got my inner union, and you know, and I anchored my higher self. So I anchored, you know, I don't know how to explain it in the best way that I can, is that, you know, I anchored my higher self within me, and I merged with her. And that was a really amazing experience. That's another misconception that a lot of people in twin flame community tell you is that once you attain your inner union, it will reflect into your outer union with your twin flame. Whether that happens or not, it's not set on stone. So, but what it will do is you will move your consciousness out of that obsession of trying to be with your twin flame, because that will just, kind of go where you're like, who cares what they're doing or not doing? I'm going to go ahead and live my life according to what I want it to look like. So you will continuously focus on yourself, and you will not be actually, that's another thing, you will not look outside of you to get to stay happy or to be happy. What I mean is that a lot of people also have this misconception that, okay, well, if I'm not going to have my twin flame, then I'm going to go find another relationship. But the problem is with that if you're not healed enough, what this will look like is that the same cycles and patterns will repeat. So you want to be very careful that you are actually not repeating those kind of cycles. And you can try it and you'll see it, that's what it is, and it'll be the same cycle and pattern. You'll attract the same thing because you haven't healed enough. So same scenarios will repeat. So that's another way of knowing that you have not healed enough. Because like I said, you can't claim that you've healed, or the best way to say is that I'm not healed enough, or I am healing. So that kind of shifts your your energy to receive whatever it is that you're supposed to receive in your healing insights and stuff like that. So yeah, that's very, very important that you have that attitude. So yeah, I want to break that debunk. I'm going to debunk that if you attained your inner union, you will automatically see that union with your twin flame in physical reality. In all probability, if you're still healing and you're still removing all these kind of things, and you're not in the same vibrational alignment with your twin flame, then and that doesn't mean that they've elevated amazingly and you are still somewhere there, but the energy has to be aligned as such. If you two are still not aligned to the energy, that union will not happen in physical reality. So that is something that you wouldn't know. And how this rolls into your journey, you will only know in time. So I want to add that in there. So money blocks is one that you should be looking at. It's something that is there for all twin flames, and how this rolls into your scenario, you will have to check. Past life work, I talk about this very heavily, and this is a recap of the last video. And you want to, there's few things that I added to it because I've done now past life healing through these modalities. You can do past life regression, Akashic record clearing. You can do quantum healing. Quantum healing is very similar to hypnosis, and that's what it is anyways. So sometimes you'll see healers that will say quantum healing / hypnosis, and that's the same thing. But and some healers will just talk about hypnosis and that's it. So that's, just see how they've worded and how they are actually offering the service. Always ask questions. And of course shamanism as well, because in shamanism you do past life work as well. So this is the past life healing that you can actually do, is on all of that. And to an extent, it can also be your inner child healing, because your inner child is not necessarily just from your lifetime. It could be also from your past life. If you've got a trauma as a child, that will show up in this through past life work. And it'll show you the trauma, and most likely it's bled into this lifetime as well as a child. So stuff like that, you need to know how it actually ties in. How do you open up your awareness or your clairs? I want to add that as well. You want to do lots of meditations, because during the meditations you get lots of downloads. And in the beginning stages of my twin flame journey, I noticed that a lot of guided meditations helped me, and there's tons of them in YouTube. I have a series of them as well. Go through those and do it on a daily basis, and the more you do them, the more you will open up your clairs. So that's a tip that I'm giving you guys. Again, there's no such thing as getting, one day you're not, you don't have your clairs open, and tomorrow you have your clairs open, right? You have to actually open them that way. So another way to do that, balance your chakras, that kind of stuff will actually open up your clairs, and that way you start to get a little bit more downloads when it comes to your own insights on healing. And when you are booking with healers, you can see things or feel things or know things, however way, hear things, right? Any of that stuff that it shows to you, or through dreams, or however, you'll start to figure it out that way. Another thing I want to add is, now that I've talked about dreams, you want to keep a dream journal. And I don't care if you're dreaming about your twin flame daily. A lot of them is probably just smut. It's nothing amazing than a nice romance novel, unless it's telling you something very specifically about your journey. The reason why I said that is because I don't dream with I dreamt more about my catalyst twin flame, because there were a lot of things that I needed to heal on when it came to him, and the lessons that he taught me, and they were not pleasant lessons that I had to learn. So I dreamt of him more than I did with my real twin flame. My real twin flame didn't give me too much insights in dreams, and there's only a few that I have recorded in my dream journal that had any kind of significance in my journey. I've again, everybody's different in their journey, but if you are just cray cray, and you see your twin flame and you're all happy, this, that's all amazing. But if the dream is not teaching you anything, then there's no point telling me or anybody else that you dream of your twin flame, because the majority of the time they're coming in and giving you some sort of specific insight about something. So try to keep a dream journal. Be open to your dreams before you go to bed. Set it out to the universe, to the higher self, that, okay, I'm ready to dream. Show me what I need to know. And just see how it shows up in your dream. And then next morning, quickly write all the stuff that you remember, because chances are throughout the day you will forget. So make sure that you are doing that. Another thing I want to say is that you should have 3-4 different kind of journals anyways. One should be just a gratitude journal. That's one. The other one should be life gratitude journal, right? Life gratitude journal is however many years that you have lived, you should be writing 10 or 15 things that you are grateful for from age 1 to whatever your current age is, right? And that's gonna give you a lot of deep healing. It did for me. I'm grateful for that, because it really opened up my eyes on a lot of things. And I didn't know that I was always my daddy's little girl, and it's something that I had blocked out while growing up, because my dad and I, we didn't really grow. We were, I want to say, when I was maybe 10 years old to adulthood, I really didn't see eye to eye with my dad. And I think it's because we both were very much alike in personality. From all my sisters, I am the closest that somebody can say is very close to my dad's personality. So I think that's why we just never saw eye to eye. So doing that life gratitude journal definitely opened up my eyes, because I really saw things from a different light, and I didn't really realize that I had so many memories with him. And so life gratitude journal does give you a different kind of healing, and healing comes in different levels. you want to make sure that you are healing in lots of areas and aspects of your journey. Another thing I want to mention is self-help books. I mentioned that in my blogs, and I didn't think that I quite mentioned it in that video. The reason why I say self-help books are really, really good, first of all, they're in writing. So you should be the best thing to do. See, this is where it becomes work. It's good if you're reading things like a story and you're understanding it, but self-help books are meant to be read, and then you're supposed to be highlighting things that jump out to you, and then you're supposed to journal that separately. So if you're not doing it in that aspect, then you may want to start it. And another thing I want to say is self-help books, you'll come across your favorites, and some of them would be really amazing, some of them would be okay. Self-help books are meant to be read time after time. So if you've read them once, you will not understand it. You're supposed to read it a few times. Last year I did this, and this year I did the same thing. In my yearly vision board, I had to manifest reading because I just don't have the time. I'm too busy with the stuff that's going on in my life that I don't have time to read. So I manifest it. And for those that actually have more time in your hands, you should be using that. So take advantage of self-help books. I love the Secret series because Rhonda Byrne has actually really good insights on a lot of things that she's talking about. So read them. Especially, I felt my favorite was The Power. It was the best self-help book that I had read. Another one that I haven't had a chance to read it, though I bought it. I did listen to the audio file, and that is Louise Hay. Absolutely love her. So she's explained things really, really well. And then there's Florence Scovel. Her book is really good. Of course, Think and Grow Rich. That was one that I read, and I in fact actually quoted a line from there in my previous video or the video before that. So yeah, it's just stuff like that, and there's so many others that are there from within, and that's I forgot his name, but you can look the title up. He's actually really, really good too. I really liked his book as well. I was given the audio file by one of the person in the community, and I listened to it and I absolutely loved it. I ended up getting the book. So that's another thing for people that are pressed for time, and life happens. It's just the way life is. Nothing wrong with it. If that is your story, then try to get their Audible. The Amazon Audible is really, really good app. Of course you pay for it, but it's still worth it. Or you can try YouTube, because sometimes YouTube has some of the the audibles there as well, right? So yeah, listen to it first, and if you like it, then definitely get the book, because you will be drawn to the book. And another one that of course is classic is The Alchemist, and that's Paulo Coelho. So you can try his work. He's got a few other books I haven't had a chance to read. I heard that there's one more book that somebody recommended. I haven't had a chance to read it yet. And then another one that it was sad, and I still want you guys to think about it if you want to read it, is The Black Beauty. It's something that I decided to, it came up in my journey to read or to listen to. So I read the audio, I listened to the audio file, and then I watched the Disney movie, and yeah, it's it's, how should I say it? I mean, if you're an animal lover, it's going to be even harder to watch, because, you know, this whole horse is going through a lot of hardship. But what it will teach you is, through those hardships, you know, just how he didn't give up on his spirit. You know, he was very, you know, he just continued to fight, continued it all the way till the very end. So I want you guys to take a look at that too. I think you guys will get some lessons from that too. So in addition to self-help books, you can try. Now, this is something that I tried last year. I heard about this within the community, and that was Yoni Healing. It's Yoni Steam Healing. You can look that up. It's not gender specific, because your trauma from the womb is actually inherited through your bloodline, right? You know, through your maternal side, because, you know, you came out of your mom's womb. So that's and, you know, however way you want to look at it, womb healing is another one that is separate entity. I've done lots of healing on that with healers, so you want to maybe look into that and see who specializes on womb healing, the trauma of that. And, you know, that's part of the ancestral healing, because, you know, it's think about it, right? You know, it's actually generational healing. So you know, you want to try that. Shamanism is really good for ancestral healing as well. So that's you know, added there. Do look at that. And Yoni Steam is kind of interconnected with womb healing, because that's what it is. And look it up, check it out. See, my best advice to you would be to see who's offering it locally in your area. So maybe Google it and see who's actually offering you that service. This is not something that I recommend you getting it online, because it won't be the same experience, because it's a very, you have to read it up why I say that it's a different kind of experience where you can't do online healing. You know, but yeah, try to book it with a healer that specializes in it. I did that last year, and I got really good results with it. And she was actually a doula, so she's and doula with Reiki. So she actually did a little bit of, you know, like a merge of everything. So that was you know, really good, and I'm continuing to see her because I got good results with it, and I want to carry on that healing. So yeah, you want to add that to your healing modality. Self-help, we talked about. Another thing that is part of self-help is self-love. So you need to, and this is where you need to, in the beginning of my video, I was explaining to you guys that a lot of it is self-healing, as well as a lot of it is healing with healers. Self-healing is about self-love, and the only person that can master self-love is only you. You know, through your own inner work and putting in your own time and work. So you want to make sure that you know, you are doing all sorts of exercises when it comes to your self-help. I have a really good guided meditation on YouTube, the I Am affirmation, that will help you in your self-help. Another one that you can do is affirmations. There's lots of affirmations that you can actually you know, recite in front of a mirror. And this is the mirror exercise that you can actually do with good results, and not what the twin flame community is talking about. So you can put some affirmations there. That's going to really, especially if you are suffering from low self-esteem, or if you're not really with it with your, you know, especially if you're having bad days. Even, you know, you know, if you are having bad days, you're not going to be loving yourself too much, and you may want to do that. Another thing that you may want to do is carry I don't have it here with me, but I'll show you this one. It's I don't have it, but you know, stuff like this in a rock, it, of course, this is large. You can see the size of my hand in this, but you can carry gratitude rocks or rocks that have that have saying or something like that with you. I started doing that about a couple of weeks ago, and I found that that's actually helping me release some of my issues that I had pertaining to that. So, and I shared this with my group, of course, you know, and carry a rock like this as well that has something, a metaphysical rock that has some sort of writing in it, and you'll see that it will help you a lot. I was, oh, sorry. Didn't want to drop that, but I mentioned this to a person that was going through some health crisis, and I told this person to carry a rock that says healing, and that those are some of the things that you can actually, you know, incorporate in your day-to-day life, and you're supposed to keep that rock everywhere you go. So yeah, you're supposed to keep it. And yeah, like, I mean, I don't have it here because I wanted to quickly jump on and do this video. So yeah, I have it upstairs, but I don't have it here in my room. So yeah, you want to try that. There's so many aspects of self-love, you know, that you can practice on. I suggest that you look it up and see what it is. I've written so many articles on self-healing and some self-love and all that sort of thing. Knock yourself out and see which ones you resonate with. There's nothing wrong with having some me time, you know, where you're just, I mean, I know life happens, you know, especially if you have children and you have a husband, or, you know, life is hectic. But try to spoil yourself. You know, it's nobody else will spoil you, only you can. So you're supposed to spoil yourself in little ways. You can buy yourself presents, you know, something that you like, something, you know, things that will make you happy. There's no rules to that, right? It's all about looking after you. The longest relationship you have with anybody, guess who that is? It'll be you. From the time that you are born to the time that you actually depart, the longest relationship you will embark in your entire life is really that. Everything else is secondary. So when you look at it this way, when you think about it this way, you cannot defy yourself self-love, because it starts from you within and out. It's something that Louise Hay explained to me when I was diving into her work, and I thought to myself, you know, there's a reason why I came across you. So yeah, it's you will meet people like this that will empower you, enlighten you in your soul's journey. I'm not the only one, and I hope I'm not the only one that you have in your life where you're looking for as a mentorship, or you know, you should be having so many people like this, right? Like this, it's countless. I was even looking up, there's so many YouTube videos on Oprah Winfrey and her teachings, and I have to actually now Google it, because I wonder if she actually wrote a book, because if she did, I want to read it, because she's a wealth of information as well. And just Google or YouTube, YouTube search Oprah Winfrey motivation or stuff like that. You'll see tons of videos on her. Some people, what people have done is they've compiled a bunch of stuff that she said over the years through public speaking and through talk shows and stuff like that, and they've compiled it, and it's actually really good insight on that, because you know, when you get a compiled video of just specific messages like that, what it does, it's just packed. And I, of course, this is why people should be joining my Facebook group. I will actually share For those that are my viewers from Facebook group, I will actually share those 2 videos that I'm talking about. You can listen to it almost daily, if not, because nothing, it's so powerful. And that's another thing that I want to mention, that if you have, by now everybody has some sort of phone that allows you to have apps and stuff like that. Everybody should have downloaded YouTube app. It's free. It's like Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, and Facebook or Instagram. It's another app. You should be downloading that. And once you actually download that app, then when you are actually watching YouTube videos, then you can actually save it. You can hit that save button and it actually goes into your library. And that is another thing that almost everybody should have. I have about over 50 videos, YouTube videos saved in that. So, and the reason why I have it is because I go back to it so many times. And that's also that inner work that I'm talking about, because you still have to put in your time. And that's what I'm trying to tell you guys, that there is no such thing as getting anything for free. You have to still put in that time and that effort. So yes, self-healing is important, but you need to know how to self-heal. It's not about you watching, tarot card readings and spying on your twin flame to see what he's doing with his life or her life, or when are they coming back to you, or all that sort of thing that most twin flames do, because they are in constant fear of losing their twin flame, right? So yeah, put in that time and put in that effort to do these kind of things. And yeah, if you don't have time to watch YouTube, listen to it while you are doing your housework, or you're cooking, or doing dishes, or something like that, making your bed. It doesn't really matter, right? You make your time however way that you feel is important to you. So I think I've done a lot of pep talk on twin flame healing. I don't think that I have missed anything. Only thing that I want to add is that I mentioned two types of journal that you're supposed to have. That's a gratitude journal for daily, and then there was the life gratitude journal. Another journal that you're supposed to have is your dream journal. And then the 4th one should be just journal that you want to have as and you can put pictures and stuff like that to go creative. I mean, if you know how to draw, that's amazing, do that. I don't know how to draw. I only know how to draw stick people, so it's and a circle and the sun. Moon maybe. Not much. I wish if I had to make a living on drawing, I would be very, very poor. I don't have that ability to draw. But yeah, some of you are very, very creative. You guys are very, very talented, and make use of that talent, and definitely draw there and make it look pretty, and put some stickers there, and pictures. It doesn't matter. Sky is the limit, right? Magazine cutouts. You're supposed to journal some of the things that you want to accomplish in your life, and that would be sort of like a journal scripting thing, right? So that's your 5th journal. And then your 6th journal should be just your experiences that you're getting in your twin flame journey, right? And no, not to do with your twin flame and how amazing they were, or how amazing they look, and all that sort of thing. Your regular things that you see that you want to understand, because chances are you're not going to understand, especially if you're new to the journey. You'll find that a lot of things you will not understand on you won't understand until you have elevated your consciousness. So journal it, and then come back 6 months later and have a look at it, because you'll have a different insight to it. And for those that actually do that, you know what I'm talking about. So with that, this was Twin Flame Union. I didn't realize that this video was going to get that lengthy, but I guess when it comes to healing, I can go on and on and on about it. And if you guys want another video on twin flame healing, I can definitely come up with something else, because as you know, I've done so much healing, and I know what twin flame healing is enough for me to do so much videos on it. So I don't mind. I can always come up with things. I know I can. So with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this this pep talk. Put any comments that you have in any questions or comments that you have that you want me to have a look at. If you are asking anything specifically as a question, then what I will do is put them down, and I will keep a note of it, and then I can do actually a part 3 of this video. So yeah, if there's anything that I haven't covered and you want me to cover it, put it there, and I will actually make a video on that as part 3. With that, I hope you guys enjoy your healing, and may you get great results when it comes to your twin flame healing.